My name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Today is September 7th, 2024. It is 5:18 a.m. I was finished editing some videos that I recorded on the 5th. I just finished the last part, which I had to think twice if I really want to go through the recording that I did, because it was painful to create. And then I was like, you know what, since I have it, let me just edit it and put it out. Whoever cared to watch it is fine, because I've already spent some time recording it. But I'm showing you this screen here because I read a comment. What is it? The membership is not showing up on my channel. On this channel, it doesn't. I create membership. I did say I was not gonna do it, but some people are asking. I have nothing to lose for creating it, and it's up to you if you guys want to do it. So I created it, and I did it the same time as PYTE. There's PYTE here. So I have here, you see this tab here that says membership, it shows up. Okay? But for some reason on APTS Sussex, it doesn't show up. So I sent a message to YouTube why it's not showing up, and I've also sent YouTube a message on Twitter about that issue. So I sent them both links of my channels. They could check it out and see what's going on, because I set them up at the same time. I was reading another comment right underneath that same comment that says they don't see the membership thing here. Someone responded also and saying they don't see the join tab. So this is something I have to look into, how to create it and what's going on. I thought it would show up as soon as I finished set up the membership. And the only thing I did not do with the setup of the membership, there's a video that says to join, to welcome people into your channel. I didn't think it's necessary, because I've told you guys from other videos, how I feel about this is just people, I don't know if they feel sympathy for me, feel sorry that YouTube is not treating me well, they just want to support me, or they genuinely like the content that I'm sharing, because I've already have members on PYTE. Some old members came back again and joined. I don't want to show it because not too many people wants to be, make things public. So I think that personal name is shown, so I'm not gonna show it to you. But the main thing is this channel, APTS Sussex, I don't know why it's not showing, but on PYTE, there it is here, membership is showing, and the store, which I link with this channel. And I think I did the same thing with APTS Sussex, membership and stores. And here stores is showing, but the membership is not showing. So that's something I need to do, and once I figure it out, I'll let you guys know on my community board. Okay, so this is what I have here. These are some tweets. I don't know if you guys are into that, but mostly what the squad are talking about, it's politics. These are some tweets I had a while ago, and I want to share them with you. And there's some stuff regarding Harry and Victus and some politics in the UK, so that's probably a different video. I'm gonna separate them. So let's get started with this. Okay, this is probably for US mostly. Let's go on Twitter. Oh, this one I just put it on the list. That's probably gonna be on the other video that I saw it and I put it. Okay, since we're here, let me just share it with you. This is such a perfect representation of the Prince Harry effect. He brings out the best in people. Look at this little boy going from shy to beaming. Look at, looks like he was pointing something on his shirt for Harry to see. And there's Harry making him laugh here. Look at everybody around them are laughing. Okay, so that's that. You probably will see this again on another video. All right, so that was on the list. All right, so this is very interesting. This is one of the Supreme Court justice. So there's a small little story about her here. Okay, no matter what happens, I choose you. What an amazing love story. Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson detailed her love story with her husband. It's 2 minutes and 2 seconds. All right, there will be some screenshots, okay?
You met him because he was a white student.
Yes.
Participating in taking down the Confederate flags.
And we were in a class together called
together.
The Changing Concept of Race in America.
Yes.
And we met each other, we were friends, we were friendly, we weren't dating or anything, but over time we really started to develop a friendship, and I started to like him, but I didn't tell anybody.
Well, there was always sort of, he's my friend, and
Yes.
your friends were like, what's going on with this?
Yes.
But then it gets very serious, and
Yes.
comes the moment to take you home.
Yes.
Now, he comes from a very privileged background,
Yes.
it seems in the book,
Yes.
and you were worried about meeting his family for the first time.
Yes, I mean, I was just nervous about the whole scenario. My parents have grown up in the South in segregation, and this was an interracial relationship,
Yeah.
which was unusual,
Was
much
that
more
scary
so.
to you, an interracial relationship?
It was,
Yeah.
and certainly one with someone who had such a different background than
Yeah.
I did. It was sort of like
Oh
hard
my.
to think about how this was going to happen.
Look how he's looking at her in this image. Oh my goodness. He truly loves her. Let's listen.
But I wanted my parents to trust me, and
I know, but your parents said, we trust you, we trust Patrick, but this is America.
that they did say that.
Dad said that.
My dad did say that, and eventually, they realized that we were right for each other, that we shared a lot of the same values.
But this was the thing that got me with Patrick. You're getting ready to meet the family. You're not
Yeah.
sure how it's going to go. And what did he say to you?
He said, he said a couple things, but at one point he said, I choose you, because I was worried
Yes.
that, his grandmother had promised to pay for his medical school. And I was worried that it might mean that when she found out about me, she wouldn't do it. And he said, even if I have to take a job or do something else, I choose you.
I choose you. What did that
Wow.
mean to you?
Oh, it was
I
really,
choose you.
it was pretty extraordinary.
Oh, I know.
Okay, so that's that. Let me read some of the comments. Okay, how utterly beautiful. I tear up every time I watched it. That's an ad. Wow. Love is a beautiful thing. I'm happy for her. Love gives us the strength to and freedom to reach for the sky. I don't care what anyone says. Real love makes all the difference in the world. There's the heart here. Adi, where is the wrath? You think I will spoil you before them. Alright, so that's that. Let's go to the next tweet. And this one is about Kamala Harris. I forgot what this was about because it was a while ago. Okay, I think I know now that I see it. It was 2 days ago. The reason I share this, and I believe this is the second interview she has done with mainstream media, because it took her a while before she sat down with CNN for her first mainstream media interview. They were complaining why she's not giving interviews here and there. So I did tell you she took a playbook out of Harry and Meghan's type of way dealing with the media. So once she got, it seems like, once she got the people who really mattered, because it's the people that's gonna go in the voting booth and pretty much vote. So she dealt with them for pretty much the entire summer. So I think it was last week or something, she did her first interview with CNN. And I think in one of my videos, I talk about it vaguely. I didn't go in full detail. I did not do a review or anything like that. But I did say she finally did an interview with CNN. And then the question that, what's her name, Dana something, was asking her was pretty much what the tabloid were talking about. It's the same freaking playbook as the UK. All right, so she didn't waste her time with these people. But this one is a different story because she's talking to O'Donnell. O'Donnell is, true journalist, similar to Rachel Maddow on MSNBC. So this is why I share this, because in other videos I've been saying she hasn't sat down with mainstream media to do an interview. So far, I believe this is her second one. Okay. We told you to listen to black women. All right. So there's some comment here. There's my response to this, but I'll come back to it. Let's go to that. Okay, just so y'all understand, Kamala Harris warned us of Russian interference in our election back when she was a senator on the Intelligence Committee. All right, 2 minutes and 20 seconds. I'm sorry, there will be screenshot, but the main thing is the audio.
Trust them. They work hard at great sacrifice, and they have shared with us what we know, which is that Russia interfered in the election in 2016. How did they do it? Well, you know, Russia, a longstanding adversary, they don't have the economic ability to build armies to defeat us, so they decided another way, and they decided to interfere with what is one of the most significant and strongest pillars of our democracy, and our democracy being a strength of ours.
I didn't even listen to this. Whenever I see something that I want to share with you, if I start listening to it and I say, oh, damn, that's something I want to share with you, I will leave it aside, take the link, put it on a list for me to share with you. I didn't even listen to that at all. One of the things I've been saying, I don't think I talk too much about the war, but what I've seen, I don't think I've mentioned it. What I've seen is that Russia, their army is not that strong, like she just said. What I think they were gonna do, from blackmailing our politicians, and you know, we see the difference, okay? How they try to entrap people. That thing that they did with the Epstein and all of that, all these work hand in hand. They entrap people to get people to be on their side. And if they have been successful, we're not out of the woods yet. November 6th, we will know. Because what I think they were going to do is use our army to do their work. Because right now, all of their all of the Russian army, the ones that they train to be in the military, they are gone. Okay? They do not have an army anymore. They have people, but not the trained one, because now all of their trained people, you know, personnel, whoever they are, soldiers, all of their soldiers are gone. The one that they train to fight, you know, to go in war, they are gone. Ukrainian wiped them out. There have been fatality on both sides, but for the Russian, they lose the most because their trained personnel were already, like 2 years ago, were at the battlefield from the beginning. They are gone. So now Russia left with a lot of materials, tanks or whatever, and a lot of their materials are gone too. Weapons, a lot of their weapons are gone because the Ukrainian wiped them out. And so now they're grabbing young men or even prisoners. Okay, I don't even think they have a choice. You either go to the war. It's like bodies they just throwing out there. There is no organization from what I'm seeing. There's no organization because all of their war technical people are gone. They are gone because it's almost like the way the UK is with their propaganda, prop people up, and even the people don't even know what's going on because they thought with their propaganda that's going on their TV, they're not telling the people the truth, and the people thinking that the war that's going on is far away from them. Before you know it, Ukrainians are at their doorstep. There's some parts of Russia Ukraine is occupying. Okay, and Ukraine has less people, but they are more technical, you know, smarter, and things like that. All that Russia knows is throwing bombs. They're not thinking logically, but Ukrainians are thinking logically, strategically. But anyway, so the main thing is, why did I put all of this up? Because some of the things that I've said and some other part where they were gonna use American machines, guns, and you know, the war type of thing to do their bidding for them, because some of the things that Russians have are old. They're not in the 21st century at all. They're using old Russian tank and things like that. But anyway, so let me move it back. Shall I start all over? Yeah, let's start all over.
Trust them. They work hard at great sacrifice, and they have shared with us what we know, which is that Russia interfered in the election in 2016. How did they do it? Well, Russia, a longstanding adversary, they don't have the economic ability to build armies to defeat us, so they decided another way, and they decided to interfere with what is one of the most significant and strongest pillars of our democracy, and our democracy being a strength of ours. When we walk into any room around the globe, we as Americans carry a certain level of strength because people respect that we have a democracy, imperfect though it may be.
The other thing as well, if we do jump that hurdle, Kamala Harris wins, many Americans need to ask themselves, they need to go deep down within themselves, what make them feel like Trump was the right person for them when Trump was there just to divide people? This is a question a lot of Americans need to ask themselves. What are their values? Because I don't understand how, coming from President Obama, I could understand some people will never 100% agree with anybody. From having President Obama as the president, and then to out of nowhere to feel that strong for someone who wants to divide you, and then calling his own supporters uneducated.
We won the evangelicals, we won with young, we won with old, we won with highly educated, we won with poorly educated. I love the poorly educated.
But yet they follow him. A lot of Americans have a lot of questions to answer to themselves, because the craziness that was going on, and it's still going on, because Trump still have people rooting for them, willing to do stupid things for him. They need to ask themselves that. Okay, so let's continue.
And one of the most important pillars of that democracy are free and open elections and fair elections. So they decided to attack that. And then to do it, they decided, let's get Americans pointing fingers at each other, going at each other in a way that they will distrust each other, that they will fight against each other. They tested out various topics to see what would get us going at each other.
And also, the other thing that I believe the Russians tried to do, because many African Americans are very religious, as much as white Americans. But I've said in other videos, I do not recognize the God that they are praying to, that they worship, because it's not the same God as me. For them to be thinking the way that they do and the way that I think, that's not the same God. What the Russian did, it was sometime, was it this year or last year, where they come out to say that Jesus is black Jesus or whatever. They thought they were gonna get African American to be on their side. Okay, it's very strategically, but African American are not that dumb. Maybe they did get some African American, but we already know. We knew that it wasn't brand new discovery for us. We accepted, at least it seemed for some African Americans, some, not all. They're like, okay, you pretty much confirmed some of the things we thought. But the reason the Russian did that is to get African American on their side, to say, oh, the Russian believe Jesus is black and this and that, therefore we're gonna leave our values somewhere and then to follow his lunatic kind of mindset. No, we accept it, we knew it, you just confirm what we believe way before, and then we move on with our values. That's the thing. And the thing that happened in the Middle East as well with Israel, they are the same group, the GOP, the people who's creating war in the Middle East, the Tories. These are the same group, okay? And you saw at the RNC who came from the UK to come and support Donald Trump. These are the same group, okay? The same loop that's going on. Let's continue.
And in so doing, they exposed America's Achilles heel.
That's right.
Race. And it was race then that they used to create misinformation, but also as a way to target folks, to create distrust, and to turn people off on the election. And so what you see is what I call now the 21st century version of voter suppression, right? We still have classic voter suppression, where you have almost two dozen states who have put laws in place since Shelby v. Holder and the Voting Rights Act then being gutted, that have been about suppressing the black vote. And on top of that, you have Russian interference. The Wall Street Journal recently wrote an article that outlined that my campaign is one of the top campaigns that have been targeted by Russian bots. And it is real. It is voter suppression. It is targeted at our democracy by a foreign government who is hostile to our best interests. And as it turns out, they figured out what is one of the greatest weaknesses of our country, which is the issue of race. And they manipulated that weakness in a way that one can argue had effect.
Presidential candidate, Senator Kamala Harris, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Lawrence. Take care.
Thank you.
Wait, let me make a correction. I think this interview was done before she was even vice president. I think that's when she was a senator. So this was not an interview that she did while running for president. Okay, so I take it back. So far, she only did one interview, that's with CNN. If there is another one, not this one. This one is old. It was done prior to her being vice president. So I got mixed up a little bit. I thought that was another interview that she did after the CNN one. So far, she only did one interview with mainstream media. That's with CNN. Okay, so she's spot on. Let's see, they are helping her. And I think for some reason, the hypnotism that some Americans that were in, somewhat waking up. Let the blind see this kind of thing. The other thing that I was thinking is when you look at the tactic the GOP and the US have been doing for a very long time, it's not like it just happened out of nowhere. They've been inching in little at a time, little at a time. They did the work for a very long time, secretly, but in full sight. I don't know if that makes sense. It's just that people were not paying attention. This is where their tactic was supposed to take full effect. Of all people that they decided to go, they rooted behind, of all people, after they did all the hard work, not that I'm giving them any ideas or anything like that, they decided to stick behind Donald Trump to carry out their work. I understand Donald Trump doesn't care about a damn thing. Once, if he had become president, and this is why they're doing all those voter suppression, they don't care how they win, they just want to win. And then once they get into the office, Trump will be just the face, but the people who create Project 25 will take over, pretty much. Okay? Trump will be just a front. Of all people, they decided this is who that they're gonna root behind. I think it's a gift in a way, in disguise, for most Americans, because when Trump is talking, I don't think he cares about a damn thing. All right, let's go back. I believe my comment is there. Let me pause that. Okay, so there's me here. She should do Rachel next. Forget CNN and all the other BS journalists who's looking for sound bites. Rachel Maddow should interview her or Walt. That's her running mate. Rachel usually goes to the point of what really matters. Don't forget Secretary Clinton as well. This one is responding to her. We told you to listen to black women. And that's this one saying here, don't forget Secretary Clinton as well. She won us on many other things too. Let's give our white sis credit too. Just saying. Now, it's up to other white women to look in the mirror and see what's up. Now that I read this, there's a video that I saw, a TikTok video of a white woman who was talking about for white women after the shooting that went in Georgia. that majority of mass shooting is taken by white kids, okay, young white male. So let me look for it instead of me trying to explain. Let me go look for it and insert it in on the list. Okay, I'm done with this. I find the video that I was talking about. Let me pause it. It will be a screenshot. All right, mass shootings, white people, pull up a seat. All right, so there will be a screenshot as we listen to this. So it's 1 minute and 21 seconds. I'm only putting it because of that last video where I respond we should give credit to Hillary Clinton and stuff like that. So let's listen.
I'm sorry if you think it's too early to politicize what happened in Georgia yesterday, but I will not allow the NRA to dictate how I talk about this issue that is impacting all of us. The majority of school blank and mass blank that are happening across this country are being committed by white boys. So let me ask you this. If you're a parent, white women, what are we doing? Because this year in April, I got married, and in doing so became a bonus mom of 2 beautiful little boys. And I have to tell you, every day we're combating messaging. Every day we're working on sharing emotions, expressing anger. We're working on things as parents to ensure that we are raising emotionally healthy, mature, communicative young men in the future. So I'm really concerned that that's not happening. What I'm understanding is that yes, this is 100% a pew access to pew problem, but as a culture, we are raising violent human beings.
What I have to say about this, in my humble opinion, the GOP, the mindset that they have, they want a race war. And doing so is to give this type of behavior legitimate to those who commit those horrendous crimes. Okay? And then let's not forget as well with Kamala Harris, the race issue that she raised between that the Russian really target in the US, because we have that issue here. So the GOP, I don't know. There's so much more to it, but let's continue. I'm sorry I brought it up, but I didn't even finish my thought. There's so much more to it though. It's the race type of war that they want. So they're preparing their boys to, to start committing those type of crimes.
Exposure and glorification of violence in our households has to stop. You have got to get a hold of what we are showing, teaching, exposing our children to, and being better, more present parents, because this is a problem in white households. So if we are white parents, we have to do something about it.
And the other thing, the kid who committed that crime at school, the father went and bought him a gun, a real gun. What about BB gun? What about those toy guns? I don't understand. I really don't understand the mindset of some people. This is a dangerous thing. And you see, of all things to go buy your child is a gun, real gun. I don't understand. And I think they arrest the parents for that. There was another video that I saw in regard to the shooting. It's a black young man. Let me look for it instead of me talking about it. Okay, I don't see it. I'm going through stuff that was a couple days ago, so I don't want to waste time on that. But pretty much what I was going to share with you, it's one of the students who survived that shooting, who was talking about one of the teachers who died in that shooting. And he was saying how the teacher who died a couple days ago was encouraging him to get to class and things like that. And I believe he said something like, there's a math class that he failed. He's doing it again. And they are 3 weeks into the school year. And I think it was the same teacher that he had. I'm not 100% sure on that. But the impression that I got is that after he failed that class last year and he's taking it over, he's starting to understand math, and then the teacher is gone. One of the comments that I read underneath it said this is it's like a eulogy for the teacher who passed, because that pretty much tells you what type of a person that teacher was. Okay, the teacher is white and the student that was talking about that teacher is a black young boy. If I ever come across it again, I'll put it on another video and I'll make reference that I talk about it on this channel. But let's get to this. So for this tweet here, I have it 3 times. I'm gonna read that. This is copied over. I think somebody, 2 people, let me just show you. All right, so I have Kamala here, Kamala 1, Kamala 2, Kamala 3. The reason I put it is because different caption. All right, but they share the same text. I'm gonna read it once. When I go to the next tweet, I'm not gonna read it again, but I'll focus on the comments. Oh, this one don't even have that much. Okay, shaking my head. When overqualified black women work with underqualified people, shaking my head. All right, so let's read this. This only make me like her more. This is ad. Okay, accomplished women of color grew up having to be twice as excellent just to be taken seriously. It's difficult for Kamala to be 50% of herself or expect everyone around her to be mediocre. All right, so now I'm going into that. What does that remind you of? If you have been following some of the videos that are either on PYTE or here, probably on PYTE, where the royal family is trying to tell Meghan to be 50% less of herself.
Told, been given advice that it would be best if she could be 50% less than she was.
Wow.
That was the quote. If she could be 50% less. And I remember hearing that in 2018 and said specifically to her, I don't know how you're going to survive being half of yourself.
Wow, I think it's...
And then on one of the videos that I edited yesterday, because I learned through one of the Royal Rats videos that American Riviera Orchard, what is it? I think the trademark, that's the word I'm looking for. The trademark had some issues with her thing. So what did the GB News person said? Like Meghan is pretty much downgrade her kind of thing. And I'm like, that's not a big deal. I mean, they say, I don't know the full story. I'm pretty sure they put a twist in it because it's through them, as I was listening, painfully listening to them to share with you the video, I learned about it. I did look it up as I was recording the video to see if that was true, and there's some issues going on. So I'm pretty sure, even though they said airport, there's more to it than what they're making it seem like. That's a different story. Let's focus on that. Alright, so let's see here. In the latest article about Kamala Harris staff turnover in the Washington Post, former staffers complained that she expects her team to be just as prepared as she is and to be able to explain everything they put in her briefing and schedule. I mean, if you're writing it, yeah, you should know what it is about. I agree with her. If these type of things are not for you, don't try to get those top jobs and don't wanna do the work. For me, I don't think I could be doing these type of things. Some of Harris' early staff was also discomfited by her prosecutorial leadership style, former staffers said, which included pointed questions from Harris about footnotes in their reports or the reasons behind why certain items had been added to her schedule. Obviously, that should make sense. Quote, it's stressful to brief her because she's read all the material. What did you expect? It's her who's on the line. What did you expect? She should not read what you put for her? Oh my God. It's stressful to brief her because she reads all the materials, has annotated it, and is prepared to talk through it, said one former aide. Quote, you can come to the vice president and just ask her to do something, said another staffer. You need to have a why. Obviously. That behavior manifests in other encounters the staffers continue, such as when someone pays her a compliment, she's turned to them all and said why, and that throws them off, the staffer said. I mean, this is the thing. I don't want to bring them. Let me not put them into this. Some people want applaud for mediocre thing. So if you're gonna applaud her, she wants to know why. I mean, it makes complete sense to me. Everything here makes complete sense to me. if you're gonna add something for her to talk about, she needs to understand why, so she could have a perspective of things, her own personal experience as to certain things, as she talks to people and said whether or not she agree with you, she will tell you to remove it because I don't agree. I mean, what do these people expect? It's her who's on the line. And then, like I was saying, with the American Riviera Orchard, the GB News people, something minor, probably minor, I don't know the full details about it, that happened. They reject something in it. The same thing that happened with Archwell. Okay, at the beginning, there were some issues. They send the application back. They fix it, and then they do what needs to be done until now it's up and running. Now, GB News calling them mediocre. This, Meghan is always want that, but this minor thing she can't do. This, she has incompetent people. I mean, whenever they get a chance to put you down, they'll do it. But when they see accomplished women, they still find a way to, to criticize them. But still, she has to be at her top best. Oh my goodness. What do these people expect? Let me read some of this. That's from Chris Evan. I call him Twitter encyclopedia. So he's probably going to have a lot of comment. But I want to read some of the squad's comment. I'll read what's there. Okay? This story makes me wonder how many politicians are just barely sentient vegetables who do what they were told by staff, and that's the general expectation in DC. Exactly, a lot. Like Trump, like I just said, I think it's in this video where I said they just want Trump to be the front person, and then if he gets elected, then they take over. So this is exactly what I was just saying a few minutes ago. Let's see here. He has 22 comments on there. I'm not going to go through all of them. The post must be run by a Brit because those are the exact same tactic they use against Meghan. That's the squad here. Literally substitute Meghan for Kamala and you have identical stories. They weaponize competence and exceptionalism as bullying. Pretty normal for most competent minority personalities. She sounds incredibly to me. The ex-staff sound like yes minister bureaucrats. Okay, I agree with all the sentiment in this thread, but article also highlight failing of political press. Were they just looking for quotes? Were there no follow-ups? Simply follow will be, did you expect the VP not to read what you wrote? If so, what? Like I was just saying, exactly. Because she's the one who's gonna face those people, and then they just put bullet points for her, or whatever it is that they put for her, and she just read it to them, and then that'll be it, not to know why. And you could see it through Trump. When they're asking him certain things, he's just mumbling nonsense. When your political coverage amounts to essentially the TMZ of the Potomac, no. Just post the juicy gossip and keep it pushing. Okay, sound like the staff needed to step their games up. That's what I think too. The only thing here is, then she choose her staff, or did she take some leftover from Pence? That's very interesting. That's a very good question. That's a very good question. But then again, I don't know. Are these people young, up and coming, and then I don't know. I don't know the process of this, so I don't want to say anything. Part of the through line of the article is that the staff that she brought with her from her Senate days were already used to the way she worked. Many of them she's now brought back. A lot of the initial staff she had as VP were Biden's team. Oh, very interesting. Okay, thanks for the feedback. Basically, the staff was complaining they could not keep up. Well, I would love to read the entire article. Okay, why my interns be shocked when I go off. All right, anyone who complains that your boss expects you to be prepared for work and you know your shit is a pathetic, lousy excuse of an employee and should be hired. People did the exact same to Meghan Markle when she wanted her staff to work for their money. Unbelievable. Yeah, that's the same thing. Alright, Will Lewis brought his Meghan Markle smear campaign playbook with him to the US. That's another thing. Okay, wow. Imagine the danger she'll put her country through if she then scrutinize or find out why something was given to her to sign. That's exactly that. What did they expect from the president was a former AG? Well, as of this recording, She is not president yet. All right, she's running for president, but vice president or a senator, depending on when this particular staffer was working for her. All right, so she's not president yet. She's been vice president, she's been a senator, she's been a former AG. So as of this recording, she's not president yet. This is what I'm saying. She's the one who's gonna face those people. So she needs to know why. This is the perfect answer here. Because she's representing a country. All of us. Those who voted for her and those who did not vote for her. Oh my goodness. This is very scary when you think about it. If she didn't read them, you see the amount of trouble she could get the country into? Okay, the irony is that Trump's staff quit for the exact opposite reason. That is true. I have a video I have regarding this staffer who saw the trouble that Trump was getting the country into. Yeah, it's true. It's true.
I'm Miles Taylor. I served as the Chief of Staff of the Department of Homeland Security under the Donald Trump administration. I would go into the office, I would read my intelligence brief, and then it was my job to help the Department of Homeland Security to keep our country safe. What we saw week in and week out, and for me after 2.5 years in that administration, was terrifying. We would go in to try to talk to him about a pressing national security issue, cyber attack, terrorism threat. He wasn't interested in those things. To him, they weren't priorities. But the president wanted to exploit the Department of Homeland Security for his own political purposes and to fuel his own agenda. The California wildfires, on a phone call with the Federal Emergency Management Agency, he told FEMA to cut off the money and to no longer give individual assistance to California. He told us to stop giving money to people whose houses had burned down from a wildfire because he was so rageful that people in the state of California didn't support him and that politically it wasn't a base for him. The policies at the border, he wanted to restart zero tolerance and separate families. He said he wanted to go further and have a deliberate policy of ripping children away from their parents to show those parents that they shouldn't come to the border in the first place. A lot of the time, the things he wanted to do not only were impossible, but in many cases illegal. He didn't want us to tell him it was illegal anymore because he knew that there were, and these were his words, he knew that he had magical authorities. He was one of the most unfocused and undisciplined senior executives I've ever encountered. I came away completely convinced based on firsthand experience that the president was ill-equipped and wouldn't become equipped to do his job effectively. And what's worse, was actively doing damage to our security. People who are still serving in this administration have said to me, just wait until the second term. It'll be no holds barred. It'll be shock and awe. We'll do what we want. Given what I've experienced in the administration, I have to support Joe Biden for president. And even though I'm not a Democrat, even though I disagree on key issues, I'm confident that Joe Biden will protect the country. And I'm confident he won't make the same mistakes as this president.
Okay, so they're complaining that they were demanding to do their job. All right, so let's go back. This is Captain America, Chris Evans' timeline. Let me go to the squad. Okay, I read it already. I read these already. It's only 2. So let me go to the next one and see what some of the people are saying. It's the same screenshot of the text, not the image. Let's see what she said here. The same thing. Oh, there's no comment. Okay, same happened to Meghan. Complained about the 5 a.m. emails being particular, and then white tears when told their work was not good enough. What do these 2 women have in common? All right, so that's that. There's no comment here.
Yeah, I think there's another factor here too, that Meghan is a very professional woman, and she's very American in that way. And the male-dominated culture, the royal household, doesn't like the kind of terms that they would use there, pushy and pushy American. They don't like pushy Americans, meaning that they don't like professional people who work hard. And a lot of the Debbie kind of girls who get to work inside the palace work from about 9 to 12 and then take the rest of the day off. And Meghan was very impatient with that. She wanted to see a new work ethic, maybe a work ethic as strong as the Queen's herself.
I thought I saw more comment. All right, let's go to the next one. This one also making reference to the same tweet. Okay, so this one only copied the text. Okay, they are really giving Kamala the Meghan treatment. This sounds exactly like what the palace staff said about Meghan. Imagine thinking this is a valid criticism and not just your own unexamined misogyny. All right. Okay. I was thinking the same thing. Boozy predicted this will happen. Let's go into that and see what some people are saying. Oh, there's more. Okay. So let's see here. I read this already. The same criticism the UK tabloid used on Duchess Meghan. Oh, I thought it was something. Okay, accusation of being difficult are nothing new for the Duchess of Sussex, whose 5 a.m. emails text message and American work ethic became the subject of a flurry of damning reports leaked to tabloid in 2018 by dissatisfied staff members who prefer a more genteel pace. Quote, it's not about what she does, it's the fact she is so bloody opinionated all the time. A source says one Frazzle aide confessed after working on her May 2018 wedding. Another who worked with Meghan on the charity initiative told a colleague her expectations are unrealistic. She wants everything done now. This is not Hollywood. Okay, so let's see here. Some of Harris' early staff, is that the same one? Yeah, I read this already. That's from the Kamala Harris here. Okay, Meg's great work ethic. Meghan wanted to get deeply involved from the beginning, said the Palace insider. She's very bright and questioned absolutely everything from her first briefing. It was Meghan's idea to publish a cookbook to aid the survivor of London Grenfell Tower fire, which caused the death of 72 people on June 2017. The Duchess of Sussex hard-driving work ethic has even pushed sister-in-law Kate to work harder. Since her recent return from the maternity leave, Kate has to keep up with Meghan, said the Palace insider. Oh my goodness. What is it? I have a video where one of the people said they work from 9 to 12. And that was, oh my God. The amount of money they're taking from people and then not producing nothing. They go with the fantasy of things, give you beautiful words to just keep on wishing and hoping, but nothing significant ever come. I feel like there's like a machine that's behind it. And to subdue these people, just spew BS to the rest of the world. I don't know. All right, so let's read some of the comment here. So they are uncomfortable with her being prepared and knowing what she's doing. If she was a man, this will never come up unless it was as a compliment. Okay, Bengal. It's so wild how so many people still just hate women, including other women. Not shocked. Most of this country didn't even want women to have the right to vote. As someone with direct report, I'm not understanding this criticism. If one of my DRs bring me a proposal, I'm going to ask for quantitative, qualitative values and why we should move forward. Not only is it smart, it helps folks grow and learn to come to the table prepared. Quite frankly, this sounds like a school superintendent who is upset school board members actually read the board agenda before a meeting. Why? OMG. She wants to go the reason behind their claims she should do something outrageous. Okay, made me so mad reading some of the criticism. They are blinded by a sexist lens. Okay, they sound like staffers who wouldn't handle a grow-up job. This is what called Kamala Harris knowing her job, being prepared for her job, and doing her job. The MAGA Jesus couldn't even read his president daily briefing every day. This is why I said they just want, that's it, I'm done with this. They just want a figure. The MAGA people, they just want a figure to just be the front, and then the people who's implementing the laws and all of that, they behind, doing the work, damaging the country. Next tweet. Okay, so there's this here.
Lavanaka. It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together. And if I may speak personally, we are all in this together. Because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.